Monday's lesson starts out with the idea of peace. Now, I'm thinking and praying about this, and I think back to when my daughter was sick after our mission trip to Belize. There I am. I'm waiting for the doctors to run their tests so they could figure out why she was ill and what they could do about it. And all I could do was nothing while I waited. I want to step back to Sunday's lesson for a quick moment and then connect it to today's lesson. Sunday's lesson asked us to consider what it actually means, to wait on the Lord. And what we discover is that this word for wait doesn't mean to sit around and wish for the best. To wait on God means to have hope because you're expecting God to do great things. You see, the Hebrew word Isaiah uses for wait means to wait with hope and expectation. So how do I know that I'm waiting on God with expectation rather than wishing that God might help me? To answer that question, ask yourself, what do you expect will happen in your situation? You see, when I went to the doctor, I expected him to come back with a diagnosis and a treatment plan. And sure enough, he did. My daughter had scarlet fever that was transmitted to her by a honeybee that had stung her. Now, we come to David, and he's in trouble. He's being hunted down, and there's a bounty on his head. Make no mistake, King Saul wants him dead. So how does David respond to this threat on his life? What he doesn't do is sit around hoping or wishing that God might do something about it. David doesn't do that. Instead, David breaks out into worship because he expects God to do something about his situation. As in, he knows that God will intervene and do something about King Saul. All David has to do is get out of God's way and let God act. This is why David never killed Saul or accused Saul or shamed Saul or attacked Saul. David simply got out of God's way and let God do what David expected God to do, which was to save him. This is what today's lesson is about. It's about us surrendering our sense of justice, our need to seek revenge, and our faith in our ability to save ourselves. As they say at every 12-step recovery program, it's about letting go and letting God. And when you learn to let go and let God do what God is very good at, that's when you start to experience peace. Peace because you know that God is for you and He will take care of you. And that was our nugget for today. Again, have a look at your lesson. We'll see you tomorrow.